there are something like 7.7 billion people on this planet. And the one thing that unites us is not race or religion, but water. And, you know, it's up to all of us to create a sustainable future. Then I sort of got thinking, after doing lots of exhibitions, etc., is that actually there's a lot of, you know, awareness out there. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to just, you know, type in water crisis or even just water. And really there's no separation between the environment and ourselves. And for so long, you know, the human condition has been to control the environment and dominate it. And what we're starting to realize is it's actually the only thing that's keeping us alive. And so the intention of the evening tonight is not just awareness, you know, let's get together and think about smart solutions and what we can do. And, you know, the idea is that, you know, we can do good things individually, we can do good things collectively, we can help each other. You know, there's some cool people in the audience, like Nick Demain, who started Ocean Bottle, which is a bottle that is reusable and takes plastic out of the sea. Natalie started a campaign for the Great Barrier Reef and has got over 85,000 signatures to stop dumping waste on the seabed, which is basically like dumping concrete on your children in an ocean sense. The intention of the project, certainly through the pictures, was this sort of mindful appreciation of nature and in a very distracted way come back to thinking that that's actually the central force in our lives. You know, it's not our iPhones, it's not the cars that we drive, and it's not the clothes that we wear. So the process of the evening is that Callum's going to give a presentation on his project, and he's one of the world's most respected marine biologists who is studying the impact of humans on the ocean. And then Amber I'll speak after that, and then Amber will speak, who's also a great ambassador for the bluemarinefoundation, who go out to protect marine reserves and look at ways that we can create sustainable fishing as a balance between, you know, the growing environment and sustainable catches, etc. But the real intention of the evening is that we all afterwards come together, and it's sort of an open forum of how we can solve this problem. But I'll pass it on to Callum, and he can tell you about what's happening in the ocean and what we can hopefully do.
Thanks very much, Vaughan, and thank you for the invitation here. It's a pleasure to talk to you. And adding to my titles this month, or rather last month, I became Chief Scientific Advisor to Blue Marine Foundation. So there's another little an organization that I'm delighted to be working with. I've been a trustee for some years and have admired their work. So, the ocean. Everyone here obviously has an interest in and a love of water, but for the most part, we think of the world as about a third land and the rest of it sea. But seen from the other side of the planet, it's almost all ocean. So if you have a Pacific-centric view, then this is what you see. And when you take into account the depth, the average depth of the ocean being about 3,500 meters, then you can calculate that something like 97% of the living space on planet Earth is ocean. You know, younger generations are going to inherit the Earth of 50 years from now, and they really need to hold the feet to the fire of the present generation to make sure that Earth is still good enough to support them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vaughan. It's an absolute pleasure to be here this evening. Approximately a third of the fish that are caught today, and this is the fish that we know about, not the illegally caught ones, they're actually ground up and fed to other fish and fish farms. So when we're all thinking that we're doing the right thing by buying a farmed fish because maybe that's better than taking from the wild populations, well, you've got to think again, because in fact, they have already been caught on your behalf. 100 million sharks a year? That number is just terrifying, isn't it? I mean, I have no idea how to envisage 100 million sharks. And apparently that's about the number that's caught on an annual basis. And again, of course, there's the horrificness of shark finning. And so they're not even using the entire animal. And I'm very sad to say that in the UK we can still, and they do trade shark fins here. They are still imported. And I really started to look at, hang on, if our seas are being poisoned so badly, where is all of this coming from? And you do look upstream and you realize it's something to do with the farms. And it was at that point onwards I decided that really I was going to survive as much as I possibly could, and I'm very imperfect, but on a plant-based diet. Because when you look at cattle farming and all that produces, and I know so many people now are just being completely brilliant, and people are joining up with meat-free Mondays, and I think everyone realizes that we ought to cut down meat consumption.
Is ocean bottle, and we collect 1,000 plastic bottles from going to oceans for every bottle purchased, and we have a smart chip at the bottom that's going to allow you to collect up to 100 plastic bottles.
It has been incredibly insightful, so much information about the crisis that we're in and what we're facing with the environment and oceans, and actually what we can do as humans and as consumers of this world.
Tell me a bit more about your project.
Yep, so my name is Hannah Hampshire and I am the founder of Oceans Connected. It's an organisation that I've set up to raise awareness and funding for ocean projects both here in the UK and also to link up with international projects as well.
And I'm the founder of a company called Tincture London, and it was started out of a pure passion several years ago when I realized, I came across a body of research that showed that the air in your house is on average 5 times more polluted than directly outside. And I looked at the regime at home and I realized that one of the biggest contributors were chemical-based cleaning products. And I thought, well, there should be some proper alternatives in the market. And then I looked at all the eco products. And I realized that they were still containing many substances which were neither good for your health nor for the planet. Really campaigning for a sort of aquatic seal of approval. Yes. Because the research, I came across so many ingredients which were actually damaging for aquatic life. I'm sort of campaigning that there should be an aquatic seal of approval which cleaning products or household products have to have, saying that when you use them, they're actually safe for aquatic life.
But how do we get out of the problem? Well, there are certain things that we need to do, and you can actually summarize it in a clamshell. Fish less, using less destructive methods, waste less, pollute less, destroy less, protect more, and prepare for the worst. And we've got to do all of those things at an extremely fast and smart pace.
Thank you so much for telling us all of that.
My pleasure.